Hi everyone, I'm Salah, the founder of Susalix AI. In this demo, I'd like to show you how AI can help insurance agencies process incoming documents automatically. So every day, agencies receive hundreds of documents such as certificate of insurance, policy documents, loss runs, and driver schedules. And these are just a few examples, just to give you a few. But there's many different type of documents that insurance agencies are receiving on a daily basis. And usually someone on the team has to open those documents, read through multiple pages, identify the important information, and determine if anything is missing, and then decide what should be done next. While that process is very important, it's also very repetitive and time consuming. So this workflow is designed to basically save your staff time by automatically reviewing the documents for you, extracting the important information, identifying potential issues with the documents, and then preparing everything for human review before any decisions are made. So basically we're going to go through and have a few documents that we're going to upload into a Google Drive folder, and then this workflow will basically read all the information from those documents, identify what the documents are about, what the missing information is, what's important from those documents, and then basically add that task to a document intake log that we can basically keep track of all the different times the AI is going through and doing that task, and then basically alert the team via a email and a Google chat. So this can be done with any tool that your team uses for chat. So this could be from Zoom, Slack, anything that you guys are using. But right now we're just going to use Google Chat and Google Mail. And then basically it's also going to identify a follow-up for the client based on the review of those documents. So if there's any missing information, it'll allow the team to basically send that email over to the client automatically based on the documents. So I'm going to go through, this is just a folder that I set up with some fake sample data. So we can kind of go through. This is a sample loss run Pine Ridge for the Pine Ridge client. And basically this is just how a sample document might look. So it's going to have, the 5-year loss run summary, the insured client, the policy type, who the carrier is, and then basically the claim activity, any risks, and then recommended next steps. So this is just a one document that's an example, and then now we're going to go through a sample renewal document. So this is the same thing. It has the name of the client, the producer, the current carrier, when their renewal date is, what their annual premium is, basically any information related to the renewal. And then the last one is just a certificate of insurance for a client. So some of the data you might see is the limit for the different types of coverages that they have, and then who the client is as well. So these are the 3 documents that we're going to test this workflow on. This can be done with any document that you have that clients are uploading for review, and then basically the AI or the workflow will basically read through those documents and save the team time. Instead of them having to read every single line, this will kind of identify those important information and the missing information as well. So we're going to go ahead and test this workflow out. So basically, it goes through the Google Drive folder right here. It extracts all the information, it downloads the files, and basically uses AI to be the brain of the workflow. So right now we're using ChatGPT as the model to basically be the source that all the information is passed through, and then the AI is extracting all the important information from those documents and then sending out the important alerts to the team after it goes through and analyzes those documents for you. So right now all that information is passed into the AI. So it's a few documents, so it takes a little bit of time just for the AI to process all that information and extract all the relevant details and detect any missing information. And then basically we have a sheet where we're basically keeping track of every single time that the AI goes through and does that task. So this is a document intake log that we can basically see that what the AI is consuming in terms of what documents it's reading, what information it found, what's missing from those documents, who the client is, all that important information is tracked. So once this workflow kind of goes through, we're able to see all the steps go through, and we're gonna see the output. So we're first going to look at the the document intake log just to see how the run was. So these are the three different files that we just looked at. So the loss run, the renewal request, and then the certificate of insurance. So it has timestamps for when it actually went through and read those documents. It identifies what the document was, who the client was, what the policy number is, who the carrier is, and then any other relevant information. So basically, all the missing information from the documents, all the flagged information that it identifies, what the summary of each document is, and then what the recommended next step should be. So this is basically how it keeps track of every single run it does. And then now we're going to go through and see the actual alerts that it sends to us. So this could be like a team chat that you guys are using in your company. So we're using Google Chat right now. So it's going to send a summary. So basically it's a packet review is what it did from that folder, who the client was, what the documents were. And then basically it generates an email draft to send back to the client after we read through all the documents that it sent over. So let's go through the inbox. So basically this is the result of, once it reads all those documents from that folder, it basically gives you a summary of what was the information that was in that folder, what was missing from those documents, and then what is what's needed. So this is the document results. There's 3 documents here. It gives us a short summary of every single document. It identifies the missing information from each document. So basically this is missing information that we would need the client to basically provide us with after reviewing those documents. And then basically it also identifies some flags for things that we should look at. It identifies what the recommended next steps were. So review the documents and create a draft for the client. So we're going to look at the draft that it automatically created for us. So we don't need to manually type it in when we respond to clients. It automatically does that for you. And it's just basically ready for you to send once you review the email. So basically this is the email that it generated as a follow-up. So we reviewed the insurance documents and we have a few follow-up items. So it identifies what the documents were that was reviewed, what the missing information was, and then which ones are flagged. So this one we probably wouldn't send over because it's internal, but basically the email is ready to send. All you have to do is just click send. Once you read through it and it looks good, you can just send it right away. So it saves you time on having to go through documents, read every single page, identify what's needed. This does that all for you. And basically the value of this workflow isn't extracting information from the documents. It's basically creating consistency across the board. So every document is reviewed using the same process and the important information is extracted in a structured format. And all the missing details are identified immediately. And all the potential issues that are from the documents are also identified. So basically the staff members on your team no longer have to spend time performing these repetitive document reviews before they can actually begin helping those clients. This AI would basically handle all the admin preparation while your team is responsible for making the final decision. So as agencies continue to grow, the document volume continues to grow with them, and the AI doesn't replace the expertise of the customer service reps or the producers on your team. It basically just helps them be more efficient by organizing the information that they're receiving and allowing them to work faster and spend more time focusing on their clients rather than the paperwork. So that's where I believe the AI can create the most value inside the insurance agencies. So this is another example of how an AI automation can simplify everyday operations inside your insurance agency. And if you'd like to explore similar solutions for your agency, I'd be happy to learn more about your current workflows and discuss where AI can basically have the biggest impact. Thank you very much for watching.